It is election season and the EFF today is unveiling its 2021 Local Government Election Manifesto in Johannesburg's Gandhi Square. We'll now speak to our reporter Samkele Maseko, who is at Gandhi Square, to tell us more of what is happening there. Samkele, saying thousands of supporters of the EFF that have already gathered outside Gandhi Square, but already this means a violation of those COVID-19 regulations, but the party has been steadfast that they will go ahead.
Yes, indeed, Aldrin. Thousands of EFF members have gathered here at the Gandhi Square. You can see them, the ones from Ward 113 from Doopsloot, Johannesburg. They've just arrived now. The EFF leader, Julius Malema, did say that they're expecting thousands of EFF members to come here to converge at Gandhi Square to hear the elections manifesto of the party. Remember, Aldrin, in 2016, the EFF were the kingmakers. They fought for insourcing of all workers, particularly security guards within the metro of Johannesburg, with particularly in Nelson Mandela Bay as well, until their working relationship with the Democratic Alliance collapsed with the change of leadership guard in the DA when Musi Maimane resigned from the party after he was hit with a vote of no confidence by the DA when the party lost votes in the 2019 general elections. Subsequently, you've had the economic freedom fighters going on to essentially become the official opposition in a number of provincial legislatures. We are going to Aldrin to approach the Secretary General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Marshal Dlamini, who is currently next to Patrick Sindani, head of mobilization within the Economic Freedom Fighters. Mr. Marshal Dlamini, what a day for your election day. You're also launching Winnie Mandela House. There are low-lying fruit municipalities, in the words of your national chairperson. Which are those municipalities that you are going for? You know, the strong showing in the metros. This year, you are going for everything. What are the ones that you are prioritizing?
All the metros, we are prioritizing everything. We are going for all the 4,468 wards in South Africa. Everywhere, this country belongs to the EFF. Each and every street, VD ward, we are going for it. So all the metros from eThekwini, Nelson Mandela Metro, Cape Metro, Johannesburg, Tshwane Lane, we are going for everything. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. Our machinery is on the ground, the fighters are there, we are working on daily basis. Today we are launching the People's Manifesto. It's going to be unveiled, it's directed by them. Us, we just had to type the information. Everything else that is on that manifesto, it was given by ordinary people of South Africa in terms of what kind of government they are looking for. This is what kind of opportunities, the issues that they are dealing with them, they're going to be unveiled on this manifesto. So ours is to respond and commitments once we take over power in these municipalities. In
2019 general election, Natal and you are from, you grew by over 300 or 400 votes in that particular province. You were just there with your president in Pietermaritzburg, where Bladen Zemande is from, Kwatambuza. Essentially, what are your projections for these elections this time around in a province like KwaZulu-Natal, which is very critical and has a huge density among the population? Are you looking at getting any municipality in that province or making strong inroads, particularly in eThekwini Metro?
eThekwini Metro, we are going for it. eThekwini Metro, Newcastle, we are going for it. Mtoni, we are going. Msunduzi, when we went there with President, it showed that the ANC, that's why they behaved in the manner that they behaved. It showed that they've lost the support of society. Because even when they were closing those voting stations, when we asked them that if you are closing voting stations because of the EFF, what about the ordinary voters of the community? They said to us, there's no member of a community who's coming to register as a new voter who's going to vote ANC. So they've accepted defeat. So Msunduzi municipality, we're going for it. But all the 44 municipalities in KZN, it's our focus everywhere we are going. There's no place, there's no VD that is not going to be attended. There's no street that is not going to be attended. So we're going for everything. That's the intention. We're here to run government. We're not here for anything else but to run government so that we can deliver according to the policies of the EFF, according to the wishes and the ambitions of our people.
Mr. Dlamini, there were also allegations, particularly with your relationship with the Democratic Alliance, voting on an issue-to-issue basis in a city like Tshwane. There were allegations that you had an undue relationship with Glad Africa, that you and the CIC were involved in having sticky fingers, having your hands in the cookie jar in those particular municipalities. To an ordinary person sitting at home, what must they take out of those reports, negative reports of the EFF leadership allegedly being involved in corruption?
No, there were allegations about the EFF from the 26th of July 2013. So there's nothing new. It's been allegations because we know that there are those that hate us, but we don't exist to account to those that doubt us and to those that hate us. The people of South Africa, they know us. That's why each and every elections we keep our numbers, they keep growing. All the other political parties, they are losing votes. So the issue of character assassination of the EFF and its own leaders is something we've been subjected to since 2013. But our people, they know their organization, they know their leaders, they know the policies of the organization. That's why every elections, they come up in big numbers to show their confidence and support to the organization.
When you look at these thousands of EFF supporters gathered here, Mr. Dlamini, some of them are unemployed. They've got no source of income. When is a better future coming to them where they can say they are economically and academically liberated?
No, it's going to start on the 2nd of November when the results are being announced, because the local government, it's where the priorities they must be, because that's where people reside. It's on the local government. So that's why we're putting much emphasis and priority on the issues of local government, because it responds immediately to the issues of our people. So they are suffering. We know about it. It's been here. It's been spoken about it. Songs have been made. We are here to implement and make that change, and that change is going to be implemented immediately when we take over municipalities. You will hear when we are unveiling our manifestos that it's not just far-fetched issues. It's issues that talk directly to the issues, and we can even pinpoint, including the address and where we're going to do. So it's not just generic issues. It's issues that are clear and talking to our people. So they are here because they know that for them to be economically liberated, it's only EFF who can do that, and that's what we're here, and that's why they are here in numbers to confirm that we support this organization, and because this is the only organization for African people, for all people here in South Africa who are unemployed, who are landless, who are homeless. This is their organization.
Baba Marshal Chisampama Dlamini, that is the Secretary General of the EFF, speaking on their elections manifesto. I'm going to throw to my colleague Natasha Phiri, who's also on the ground with me at this elections manifesto of the Economic Freedom Fighters, where thousands have gathered thus far at the Gandhi Square. Over to you, Natasha.
Well, thank you very much, Samkele. That was my colleague Samkele Maseko speaking to the Secretary General of the EFF, Mr. Marshal Dlamini. And as he's indicated, I'm on the other side of the podium, and of course I'm joined by EFF members who have trickled from various regions and various locations just to hear what their CIC, Mr. Julius Malema, has to say, and the commitments, as they say, they have promised the people of South Africa, as they describe themselves as a government in waiting. Let me just speak to a few young people here on their expectations today. Mama, so where are you from?
I'm from Randfontein, Motlhakeng.
Okay, so you came all the way from Randfontein. What are you expecting to hear from your leader, Mr. Julius Malema?
I'm expecting to be educated because I want to go back to school so that I can get, because my bursaries failed too much. So I want to be educated as a youth. I wish. Maybe I think EFF as my party, he will make better than ANC. Yeah, is what I like. Viva Juju Malema, viva! Viva!
So the young lady there saying that she hopes that their leader will actually speak to issues of education. Let me actually bring in another young lady who's all the way from Tshwaneville. She had graduated, if I'm not mistaken, last year. As a young lady, what are you hoping to hear from your leader? You just heard the Ausi Abuaka free education. Is that the same thing that you want?
By create job opportunities. So around Tshwaneville, there are organizations that are different. I always say long EFF, EFF. So address job creation.
Yes, what else besides job creation?
Lands. Kuna le space tse di ngata sa copy so batho ba ngata ba tlhoka di so ka ga bua go batho ba dule teng go
Well, she also spoke on very important points there. One of the seven cardinal pillars of the EFF is land, the land issue, land expropriation without compensation. I'll come back to Ntate Mona. Let me just bring in more EFF supporters who have come in from various regions. Sir, where are you from?
I'm from 135 Protean Lane, Soweto.
And what are you expecting to hear from your leader in regards to today's manifesto?
Obvious expropriation of land without compensation and abolishment of tenders. That's one thing, and building the state capacity, and creating more jobs, sustainable jobs for our young people. We are sitting in a very dire situation where 74% of youth are unemployed. So it's a very concerning issue, which every South African should be worried now, as the guys in Tula House, they can't even pay the salaries for their staff. They can't create jobs. So we need to give EFF chance. We create more jobs and see what they can do for us.
Thank you so much. The gentlemen there also are talking about very important issues that were also raised in the EFF 2016 manifesto, particularly the scrapping of tenders. Let me just bring in some people here that I see from Zimbabwe. So you're from our neighboring country. You came all the way here to hear what your president, Julius Malema, have to say. What are your expectations?
Maybe what I can start by saying is that we are here in solidarity with the message of the EFF. The Pan-African message, the message that says all of us in Africa are one brothers. That is what brings us here. That is what unites us. That is the message that we want. And you must understand that the relationship between Zimbabwe and South Africa is strong. Remember that we have a lot of ANC Umkhonto colleagues that fought alongside Zipra in Zimbabwe. So that is what binds us together. This is what brings us here. But we must also express disappointment in the stance of the ANC as far as foreign nationals are concerned. They are working on a piece of legislation to stifle the rights and of the foreigners. As we speak today, the refugee office is still closed in the midst of the turmoil that is happening in Zimbabwe. So this is why we feel maybe the EFF is a better alternative, because they've been clear, they've been unequivocal as far as the message of Zimbabwe, as far as the message of foreign nationals is concerned. The ANC has been involved in talks with the ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, but only to show solidarity with Zimbabwe with the government of Zimbabwe against the people of Zimbabwe. But Comrade Malema, Commander-in-Chief Malema, has been very unequivocal and very unflinching as far as his message about Zimbabwe is concerned. That is why we are here.
Now let's talk to the growth of the EFF in Zimbabwe. Here in South Africa, the growth of the EFF has grown from leaps and bounds, from 6% in 2016 to 10.7% of the national vote in the 2019 elections. Let's talk to the growth of the EFF in Zimbabwe.
Unfortunately, the EFF in Zimbabwe has not covered much ground because for now the politics in Zimbabwe is just between ZANU-PF and the MDC. So EFF is still to make inroads. And as I'm here, I'm not a member of the EFF in Zimbabwe because it has not registered a presence. But I'm coming from the Zimbabwe African People's Union, a revolutionary movement that fought the war in Zimbabwe. But one of the things that I must say is that the growth of the EFF here in South Africa is an encouragement to all progressive democratic movements in Zimbabwe, because we are seeing a young revolutionary rising up. We are seeing a young voice. We are seeing a Sankara of our times. We are seeing a Martin Luther of our times. We are seeing a great man of our time standing up for the rights of the African person, being an encouragement and inspiration to young people. This is what brings us here. This is what we support. This is what we stand for. And going to our own elections in Zimbabwe, Malema is one of the people whose growth and whose ability to mobilize the masses is a great inspiration to us. We're going to imitate him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me just bring in another gentleman here. Sir, you also heard what your counterparts in Zimbabwe, what they had to say.
Yes.
What are your expectations? This is a people-centered manifesto.
Yes.
And what are you expecting to hear from your party?
What we are expecting from the Commander-in-Chief today, It's going to talk about, people are crying about service delivery, which is very important for local government elections. So that's exactly what he's going to talk about today. And the other thing that he's going to press on, which is a very crucial point in South Africa, is unemployment. So those are the two things that we actually looking at the local government elections. Yeah.
And do you think that the EFF will do well at the polls? I mean, this is also in regards to their performance, during the by-elections. I know you can't really use that as a parameter to actually measure how well they'll do in the elections, but the EFF hasn't won any awards in last year's by-elections.
In last year's by-elections, we've won Ward 10 in Sishivo. So at least it's a good sign. It's a word that we never had before. So coming into the next elections, we are sure that we are going to take Tshwane, we are going to take Ekurhuleni, we are going to take all the metros. Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
What are you eager to hear from Julius Malema?
Ke robala mo strateng mpona ke le sone ene o mpona ke le so ke robala mo strateng so ke tle mo go tlo kopana le mo president Malema. He's a president. I want to see him, President Malema, because I'm stranded for my life. And then I was waiting for Emden Junior Secondary School.
Yes.
Emden Junior Secondary School. So, bankwashile M17 bathi ngidlala ngomsebenzi. Kodwa ngiyagula sisi mambona ngiso. Wabona amanya wami na anjani njengamanje. So ngiyagula since M17 la Emden Junior Secondary School bavala imali zami from 2019. Ngakholli ngidla estrategi ngicela ukudla iProtea North ngicela ukudla iProtea South ngicela ukudla la iBrie Dropeni awukhola ngidla khona so ngizocela EFF uPresident Malema I'm sure I'm supporting to me futhi izinto zami zihambe kahle ngoba sisi ngiyasokola njengamanje bangiqwashile ngicela ukunceda ukuthi M17 Emden Junior kulungiswa izinto zami ngihole sisi ukuthi impilo yami izobarayithi ngizothola ukuhlala kahle sisi wami so please President Malema help me because I'm suffering.
As you can see, people are very eager to talk to us. Mama, what are your expectations today?
Today ke batla go change-iwe ke tswa ko merafango thuko khutsong ke batla go change di leadership di tlogela go tsama bosigo ka 8 kaofela re kre nthengwe lengwe re deservang re vote kaofela re batjha re batla go tswella re godise bana ba rona ba tsele right.
And for 28 years.
Thank you so much. Well, you've heard various views there from various people wanting to talk to us here about their expectations of, the EFF's Manifesto Launch. We spoke to the young, we spoke to the old, we spoke to the homeless, people from various regions, very eager there to hear what their party leader, Mr. Julius Malema, has to offer, as the EFF has in time past said that what they're going to be addressing in the manifesto is not promises but commitments to the people of South Africa. You've heard people wanting jobs there, people wanting free education, others wanting houses like the homeless man had said, and we expect the EFF leader to actually talk to all these needs as he did in 2016 in his manifesto. Of course, the EFF has in time past said that their manifesto is people-centered. They've solicited views from various community members, from people in various industries, from academics as well. And all these people are eagerly waiting to hear what their leader, Mr. Julius Malema, has to say. They also expect a very positive outcome at the polls, as you know that the party's growth or the party's trajectory has been on an upward growth. In 2016, we saw them attaining over 6% of the national vote. In 2019, it was over 10%. And of course, they've said that they're contesting in all the 8 metros: Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, the city of Tshwane, Buffalo City, Cape Town, and so many more. They are also indicated that they are contesting all 4,468 wards across this country, and they are now saying that they are going to take eThekwini, the municipality of eThekwini. And this is quite significant because the party's growth in the area has